What's up, what's going on, legends? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the Shadow Company faction missions that we received in Season 5 and Season 5 Reloaded. Now, it's safe to say I'm pretty disappointed with these across the board. Now, obviously, the rewards aren't all that great, but honestly, I also feel like they came to the table a little bit lazy with these, and they didn't put a lot of effort into them. Majority of these are fairly simple, and a lot of missions feel out of place on where they are in their specific tiers, as some of the Tier 4 missions specifically were extremely easy, and I kind of feel like it could have been something you could have done in Tier 2. So there are some missions that are just way too easy, and a few of the missions that are more difficult aren't really in the positions that they should be. And another thing I do want to mention that I don't think a lot of people noticed is if you look through most of these missions, there is almost no PvP missions at all except for maybe one, and even with the mission that does involve PvP, it's an option as you guys could actually eliminate commanders as an alternative. So it looks like they went out of their way to not put any PvP missions in, which seems like a good change on the surface, as at this current point in DMZ, PvP can tend to be a little bit of an issue, especially if you guys are trying to work towards your missions. So it is nice to see that they didn't put any PvP missions in, at least exclusively, with these set of missions. Now, although there isn't really any PvP missions exclusively, which can be kind of nice and hopefully reduce the amount of PvP, they did decide to replace these instead with missions that do require you to work with enemy operators. Now, I don't know if they play their game very often, but this community can be a little bit toxic, and I don't know about you guys, but I don't have a lot of luck coming across players that are typically very friendly, and it's even more difficult to get some other players to trust you enough to allow you to work together, especially because these are missions that do require you guys to stay on the other teams from each other. So most of the time it's more of a trust issue, and so getting other players to actually trust one another, or at least another player to trust you, it can be quite challenging. So I think although it's nice they moved away from the PvP missions and made it more like working together, hoping to kind of bring the player base closer, I think they actually made a mistake, as this is more likely to actually gatekeep players from being able to finish them, as a majority of the missions that I haven't been able to finish for the Shadow Company up to this point are the ones that do involve enemy operators. So any one that I have to work with an enemy operator is typically one that I'm still working on, just because it's that difficult to actually come across players who will help you out when you're trying to do these missions. So across the board, I really think they missed the mark with the Shadow Company missions. A lot of them, again, are way too easy. The ones that are challenging, I wouldn't say are all found in Tier 5. Not only are they not balanced, I think they obviously implemented some missions that don't really fit with the community and the way DMZ has gone so far, so it does actually make it a lot more difficult than they need to be. So the ones that are easy are way too easy, and the ones that are hard are only because they actually involve enemy operators. So hopefully going into Season 6, whether we get a new faction or whatever content we get, a little bit more effort is put into it, and it isn't as disappointing as these Shadow Company missions. Now, normally I would say it's good that the missions are doable for the majority of the player base. However, if the missions are too easy, people move through them too quick, and it leaves no content for people to do, and that also leads to people just running around the map doing PvP, joining 6-mans, and making the experience a lot less fun for the rest of the players out there that are still working on their missions. Now, I'm hoping in the future we move toward adding more difficult challenges for those players that continue playing. Let me know down in the comment section below if the Shadow Company missions were disappointing to you. Thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.